Хоу-хоу! Привет тому, кто присоединился. Хей-хоу, хей-хоу. Чё-то голос першит. Так, задание. Давайте все-таки построим вот эту вот штуку. Без электричества эта штука работать не будет. Стоп, это Дездемона же? Че, серьезно, это Дездемона? Офигеть, сама Дездемона тут стоит. Обалдеть. Так, давайте вот от этой штуки протянем сюда электричество. Она не дотягивается, поэтому я думаю, надо построить питание. Так, разное. Опора LED. Вот. Опора LED большая, давайте ее построим. Подключимся сюда. И подключимся сюда. Ага. Так, надо еще какую-то хернюшку для нее построить, походу. Так, разное. Антенна, ретранслятор. Вот эту вот шляпу надо построить. Так, то есть вот это вот можно убрать. А вот эту вот штукенцию надо построить. Вот так. Все. Нет? Так. Это построено, это построено. А консоль надо... Че у меня за фигня? Вот, а консоль надо построить. Давайте прям тут вот ее воткнем. И вот эту вот штукенцию тоже воткнем. Так, теперь нужно построить некоторое количество генераторов. Генераторы. Большой генератор. Где у нас стоят генераторы? Генераторы тут, да? Давайте вот тут вот еще построим несколько генераторов. Раз, два. Все? Еще нужен. Ну, блин, большой я больше не могу построить, поэтому построю еще средненький генератор. Все, замечательно. Все запустилось. Дездемона поговорить.
Desdemona, status report.
We got activity, Des. Not sure how long before it peaks.
The Institute is a huge unknown. What I'm about to tell you.
Так. Приют.
Patriot, there's a man
Патриот.
or woman,
Приют.
we're not sure, inside the Institute who helps synths escape to freedom. Dozens of synths owe him their... If your plan works...
Ага. Приложу все усилия.
Tom's encrypted until you make contact. And Can you do that?
Короче, давай сделаем
Bring it
это.
on. You can do this. I believe it. Stand on
Чё тянуть-то?
Tom, talk. Desdemona.
Не, реально, как Дездемона.
You know who doesn't make the same mistake twice.
Что надо сделать? Показано, что вот сюда встать. А, все, мне начало телепортировать.
So stand still. You gotta lock in all those molecules of yours. Hopefully we won't miss any. There's only, 60 trillion of them. All right, feeding our baby some juice. Let's see what she's got.
Take this holotape. You need it to contact Patriot.
Oh man, don't worry.
О, второй геймпад у меня тоже, блин, садится, прикиньте, да?
Whatever you can to gain their trust. Lie. Tell them what they want to hear. Make up a cover story and sell it.
Come on, I think I got it. Establishing lock on the Institute signal.
Just get all the information you can. About synths. About the Institute's plans. Find their weaknesses. If we can disable or destroy the Institute, we may have to do it. You jack that holotape into any terminal and Patriot will make contact. He has to.
Got the
Ага.
We got it.
Find a way to save them. Nobody else can.
Now.
началось. Так, в любой терминал. Загрузить голозапись. Вирус. Какую там голозапись надо оставить? Я забыл. Надо посмотреть. Инфо. Запустить зашифрованную голозапись на любом из терминалов института. Угу. Не то.
Storytime Simon here.
Да ладно, я случайно нажал.
And here it is, part 2 of...
Так, посмотрим. Вирус. Вирус. Ну, наверное, вирус. Так, встретиться с кем-то где-то, да? В каком-то зале с понтом. Мой герой должен знать, где этот зал, да?
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face.
Useless.
Please, step into the elevator.
Так. Лифт.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable.
Так,
I'd like to talk to
надо
you
какую-то
about
лестницу
what
наверх
we
найти,
can do for everyone.
чтобы встретиться с типом там.
But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Опять вниз.
Only opens with a key.
Шон.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
We're leaving this place.
What's going on? Father?
Shh.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me!
Please,
Father? Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
Нифига.
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father. That's your name? Your title?
Father is my
Title.
unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute. Just as you are a parent to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded.
Короче, я заспойлерю,
It's good
этот
to
чувак
finally
типа
meet
ее
you.
сын.
After all this time, it's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Hell of a story, but I guess it does make sense.
I'm glad you're willing to accept the truth. It's quite encouraging. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they
Perfect
followed
machine.
the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time,
Ничего себе.
protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Как я еще могу тебя
So,
успокоить? Ты не
you're
можешь меня
in
успокоить.
charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
Почему все дети едят сладкую вату?
Я извиняюсь, мне надо ответить.
Are you following?
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position. Obviously. I've lived my life within these walls. Dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know.
Давайте я с институтом.
I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
Is all that really necessary? What's there to learn?
For now, it is enough that you understand that the Institute
Попытаемся
really
обмануть,
is
короче, его.
devoted to the betterment of humanity. The Institute is now your home, as much
Что уж
as it is
слишком подозрительно
Please
выглядит
take some time, get to know
60-летний
it.
сын у 30-летней
Meet some
женщины.
people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in advanced systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Так, понял. Встретиться с руководителями отделений. Так, давайте сначала встретимся с этим типом. Так, куда вообще идти? Что-то я не очень понимаю. Тут столько дофига всего. Так, это чё? Надо найти кабинет сына, так называемого. Микроскоп. Это чё? Так, вниз.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned,
Greetings.
the phase out on these
As
older
the
models
Institute's
can't come
requisition
soon enough.
vendor, I
Oh,
can provide supplies
I don't know.
Doc, they weren't
Most
kidding
of them
us.
have lasted
They
long
really
past
are.
their projected
Well, all
lifespans.
right.
If you
I'm
ask
Allie.
me,
Allie
they were
Fillmore.
built pretty well.
You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division?
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to... I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full gym.
Так, ладно, сходим. Встретимся с чуваком.
Liam's been trying to teach me robotics.
Так, нет, не тут.
It's more complicated than I thought.
I'll be happy to forward your request to the bioscience.
Да где? Вот тут.
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
Who are you?
I'm Liam Benet. My father runs synth development, and everyone knows who you are.
Trinity. What's that?
Trinity is an encryption system with a cipher, or key cut up into many pieces. You need several pieces in the correct order to unlock it. I put a Trinity piece with every synth I helped escape. It was a long shot, but I was hoping some good Samaritan would connect it all together.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow, your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The railroad sent me to look for someone they call Patriot. That's you.
What? The railroad? As in the railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
Why are you helping synths?
At first, I just wanted to see if I could get away with it. It was a challenge, you know? But then I realized the synths are really just like us, except without any freedom. I decided to help the ones that wanted to escape, so they can have a better life.
How did you help the synths escape?
Through hacking. The departments focus their best talents on hard science. Why waste time on terminal security, right? The SRB is the exception, and unfortunately, they control which synths go to the surface.
Right.
But a forged work order from, let's say, bioscience can get a hand-picked synth on surface detail. And it turns out the railroad was waiting for them. Wow.
You've saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But wait, with you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue, but we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now.
Так, следовать за ним.
You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface, but that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense.
Так.
I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live.
Я пойду встречусь с руководителями отделов. Ох, как дофига. Ладно.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Так, с кем из них мне надо побазарить? Вот там вот кто-то, да? Опять женщина.
Excuse me, doctor? Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
И чё? Какого рода работа? Мне здесь не рады. Это оскорбление, не буду вам мешать. Какого рода работа?
Advanced Systems Special Projects. You've seen the boy, Synth, already. We've been hard at work on him for quite a while now. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Что он делает?
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't socialize much. I prefer to focus on my work.
Ага, следующий. Кричит заведующий. Чувак с пушкой. В бошку ему пиу! И все. И началась война. Блин, куда идти-то? Такое огромное место. Вот туда.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me.
To the
Send a message.
We're all looking forward
Please
to
don't.
working with you.
There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Какой-то вот этот тип подозрительный, он мне не нравится.
If you see any suspicious synth activity, report it immediately.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Mankind. So, redefined. Here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's it's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the synth retention. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
If the synths want to be free, you should let them.
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are... But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
Исполняющий обязанности руководителя обучения охотников. Как идет процедура возврата.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their origin. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface.
Не особо интересная инфа у него. Он типа, короче, отвечает за возврат синтов, которых спрятала подземка. Где-то тут еще задание. Это этот Лайм или как он там? Лайм, но... Не пойду за ним. Отдел бионаук. Еще разберемся, может я даже с институтом останусь. Что-то у них тут шибко красивенько все.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that. It's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Орвики, что-то
That's a
знакомое.
question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well, I suppose you're right.
The latest
Это
synth
еда
generation is
какая-то.
just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Hey, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Какого рода работа? Ну, уже понятно.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies,
Привет тому, кто
Bioscience Division
присоединился.
specializes in fields of study such as
Ищи
botany,
что-нибудь
genetics,
интересное.
and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Так. Короче, мне не особо интересно, что он говорит.
You guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided?
Можно
I'm not
попробовать.
sure how well.
Great. I was hoping. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or...
Ага. Медицинская помощь, гориллы, синты, помощь нужна?
Is there
Спросим,
anything
нужна
I
ли
can do
ему
to help
помощь.
out?
I think Dr. Carlin was looking for help with one of his experiments. You should talk to him.
Так, ладно, поработаем немножко на институт. Под землей исследовать за Лаймом, задержание, поговорить с отцом. Так, наверное, таки не будем пока помогать Лайму. Я прошу прощения. Так, все, я вернулся. Так, Лайм. Не хочу я пока с ним дело иметь, с этим Лаймом. От этого могут быть проблемы, которые оттолкнут меня от института. Но я пока рассматриваю вариант дружбы с этими ребятами. Если это можно так назвать. Только я заблудился тут. Я тут не... Вон, лесенка. Не туда.
Huh?
А? Ага. Так, еще выше. Так, походу куда-то сюда, да? Да, вот он.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
I've seen my
Ничего
share of
особенного.
think tank science labs.
Oh, I assure you, none of them were quite like this place. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
What do you mean by proper supervision?
I mean that while they are here in the Institute, fulfilling the purpose for which they were designed, our synths perform admirably. As you're about to see, however, they can become unpredictable when set loose. A rogue synth has taken over the raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best for everyone. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Либерталия. Это какой-то корабль, что ли? Так. Сейчас вот поговорим с Лаймом. Если будет такая возможность, я ему откажу. Что-то мне уж шибко понравилось иметь дела с институтом. Фига себе тут.
C-114, it's me. Sir, do you require something? It's okay, Z1. She's a friend. She's with the railroad. Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Because the members of the railroad have dedicated their lives to fight for your freedom.
I thought only Mr. Benet cared. But your friends actually fight for us? That's what the railroad does, Z1. She's from the surface. I've never met another human willing to help. But, sir, we must... Right now, how many synths want... The ones I know for certain? That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go. It's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always sealed. By the SRB. If I can find a way to open those doors... Yes. We'll talk later. Just a few high security doors, right? Controlled by cutting edge. You're willing to help, right?
I won't help you.
If you want to free synths, a lot of them.
Liam.
You ready to help the synths escape? All 13.
Right. What do you need help?
Our core security architecture hasn't fundamentally changed from the old... The original security program was called Code Defender. Revolutionary stuff. We still have, with some persuasion. Problem is, but if you could get... Z1 and I, but finding the CIT route, ask your friend.
Короче, я не хочу с ним базарить. Поговорить с Дездемоной. Так, ладно. Поговорить с Дездемоной, задержание, встретиться с охотником. Так, новый уровень. Включаем науку.
This must be a little overwhelming for you.
Встретиться с охотником.
Hello. Please ensure that your dietary requirements are being filled.
Так. Лифт едет. А где мне встретиться с охотником-то? Ага. Все, погнали. Она так смешно руки поднимает, когда прыгает. Ну чё, давай уже. Лифт. Так, отсюда я вышел. А как мне уйти-то? Как уйти-то, блин? Что я не пойму вообще. Ну, вот он выход. Телепорт. Давайте уже выходить будем. Как свалить-то отсюда? Так, ладно, давайте еще раз запустим вирус. Так, новая белка, новая белка. О, жуткое дело. Надо будет посмотреть. Где тут выход-то? Отсюда уйти наконец-то. Меня немного напрягает, что я не могу уйти. Что это? Давайте с ним полтоса дам, а тот куда-то скинул. Так. Как-то надо свалить отсюда. А? Так, карта. Так, попробуем вообще выйти отсюда, телепортироваться. Во! Нифига, то есть самый оптимальный вариант просто взять и телепортнуть отсюда. Нормально так. Пайпер. Она уже тут. Так, встретиться с охотником. Так. Первым делом на пошмонатик. Все.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, ma'am. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
We're in this deep with the Institute as is. Couldn't hurt to have someone with real combat training watching our backs.
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, ma'am.
Так, вернуть сбежавшего Синта. Куда валим-то? Что? Так, надо включить другое задание. Вот это вот. Так, точно. О, точно это. Стоянка кораблей. Ну давай, давай, выходи оттуда. Еще один. Блин, долго целился. Ну? Заколебал. Откуда они услышали? Вот как они узнали, что я тут? Так, все, можно идти. Так, вон он. Башку свою вытянул. Залутаемся мимоходом. Скоро новый уровень апнем. Нифига себе. Это что за взрыв сейчас был? Да блин. Крышка, патроны, гранаты, все. Это что было? Вот что сейчас такое было? Что за нафиг взрыв? Блин, я ему в башку прям попал, и он не умер. Да ну его в жопу. Так. Попробуем настакать криты. Чё-то херово стакается. Да что, я ж прямо в него стреляю. Все, готовченко. Кто это там? В башку ему клеит. Бах! Так. Так, надо тихонечко не спалиться только. Тихонечко не спалиться. Мне надо сесть вот на эту херню, чтобы переехать туда, на корабль, на этот долбанный. Где эта херня? Так, она вообще вот там. Все, поехали.
Show your face! Come on! I dare you!
Повыше шаг, кто меня спалил? Так, надо стакаться. Сзади. А, нет. Ой, фак, граната. На, в башку. Все, стаки готовы. Так, вообще, наверное, наверх идти. Так что пойдем наверх, раз уж навел палево. Можно больше не прикидываться, что меня не видят. Так, тут спальное место. Короче, я уже как-то бывал на этом корабле. И капитана уже тоже убивал, так какого хера? А, ну может он сменился после того, как я старого капитана убил.
I'm listening.
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code
Так, B592 сброс заводских настроек. Так. Погнали.
Well, he might not be alone. That's all, ma'am. Ready?
Так, погнали. Может его просто завалим? Нахрен какие-то там настройки ему сбрасывать. Тому тупому роботу. Можно просто его завалить. И все, и никаких проблем не будет. Так, сейф открыть. Обязательно. Так, выше.
Well done. By your gear, I'm gonna guess you were an agent just like me. So,
давай, базарим.
Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
Right. B592 initialize factory reset. Authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
Gabriel, can you hear me?
Чё? На тебе в голову, придурок. Какого хрена я ему в голову дал? Почему он не умер? Все. Больше здесь никого нет. Не люблю рейдеров. Можно валить обратно в институт. Так, только сначала надо будет с Дездемоной поговорить. Где она? Где-то там дом Кэббота. Все, я понял, каких... нет, там Уорвики были. Точно, Уорвики, не Кэбботы. Кэбботы это... Ученый этот бешеный. Все, я вспомнил, кто есть кто. Так. Валим в подземку, говорим с Дездемоной, отказываемся нахрен от всей этой херни, кидаем, короче, их. Пускай там сами шалят.
Hey, it's Fixer. Fixer's back.
Desdemona.
Oh, thank God.
Woo! See, Jess, I told you the molecular stabilization matrix held.
It is really, really good to see you. Did it...
I met with the leader of the Institute.
What? Wasn't he just a little boy?
I'm still in shock.
Damn. Besides meeting your boy, did you meet Patriot too? Did Tom's holotape work?
I met Patriot.
I knew you'd get the job. Write up a full report on Pam's terminal. After you're done, we'll end...
Right?
Чего? Подать рапорт. Какой рапорт? Кому подать рапорт? Че вы? Рапорт. Что мне делать, нехрен отчитываться? Открыть отчет об институте. Наверное, так. Поговорить с Пам. Давай, Пам.
I can't...
Understood. Conversation.
Pam.
Preliminary analysis complete.
Anything we need to move on?
Affirmative. Codename Patriot requires admin credentials for Code Defender security software. Cross-indexing CIT security administrators with 2077 Commonwealth Census records. Filtering by
Ну давай уже. Я не буду тебе помогать.
Thanks.
Compliment.
After you get the...
Так. Узнать пароль от защитника кода. Короче, я не буду им больше помогать, ну их нафиг. И вернусь чуть-чуть попозже.